Okay, so we are at Sam Houston National Forest right now, and this is hopefully going to be my test for the tarp. So you guys can just follow along. Essentially all I'm going to do is sew, kind of straightforward stuff. The difference is going to be the setting. The first is just going to be a straight sew, the other one's going to be a zigzag. The finishing hem will be kind of a zigzag pattern, just to give me some extra stability. And after that, waterproof, hanging up to dry, and then testing. So let's get started. So here's what we're looking at. This is just the hem. You can see the frayed slash cut end here. And then this is, I guess, a complete hem with the second fold. Now I know you can fold it, essentially fold it again, and then it'll be complete. Honestly, I'm not good at it. I've only been sewing. This is maybe 10 hours of sewing altogether. With the two other failed attempts. And I don't really like clipping them, or, I mean, I've got clips. These are perfect for adjusting the tie-outs when you put them on there. But I'd rather just go over it twice and make it look good and be confident that nothing's gonna happen to it. Next part you'll be seeing is the tie-out. So I'm going to finish the other three edges and be done with the hemming anyway. So the way we're going to sew this is the front, or the top, however you want to look at it. This is the underside. Now these here is the 1/2 inch mark that I've made, and this is the 1.5. This is the 2 inch. I'm not going 2 inches. I'm going 1.5 because I don't want to use a ton of this webbing. So it's going to go here and then essentially flip around the back and then cross over itself. And they're both going to be 1.5 inch away from each end. And then I'll follow it up and make a pattern there. You'll see. So there we go. There's the finished product. The corner. Not perfectly symmetrical. You can see that this one's a little bit longer. Oh well. But that's plenty of space for a good tie out. Now this is the easiest part. It's the edge tie outs. Essentially, I'm just going to fold them in half, 6-inch pieces of webbing. I'll fold them in half as close to perfect as possible. I'll get essentially one of these binder clips to hold it. I'll find my mark, which is here, and then I'll come back through here in a second and mark an inch from the edge, so I'll know where to put the end, and I'll have 2 inches of webbing here that will be my tie out. So we finished the edge last night, and here it is. It's 1 inch sewn onto it, and then just a square pattern. Now this is forward and reverse, the full length of each sew. So I went forward and reverse each time, and that's gonna give me a super strong tie out there. That thing's not going nowhere. And there's 2 inches of play hanging off. So that's what we're going to do with the center seam here, the center seam tie out. I'm only going to put 1. If I need some more in the future, which I don't think I will, I'll just add them. So we're at 6 1/4. I just need a little bit of play room because they're going to be sewn together at 2 inches. You'll see what I'm talking about. So the way it's going to be sewn is like this. I'm going to fold them together, mark the 2 inch spot, and then sew this together at the 2 inch spot, fold the ends out like this, and then sew it on there like that. Alright, so there's the piece sewn in half. Now that's 2 inches. And then I'll sew these 2 flaps onto the tarp like this. This is me winging it, by the way. Now I'm going to move the needle position over, closer to the center there. Not sure how well you can see that on the camera. Closer to the center mark. I'm going to try to hit it right there. Let's see what that does. finished the center seam. Had to finagle it a little bit. It was kind of difficult to get into this this center part here. There's so much material there, and the foot doesn't raise high enough for me to get under it. I'm sure there's going to be tons of people out there that are much better at this than I am, that know how to get around stuff like that. Honestly, I'm a novice to this sewing stuff, but I'm pretty confident in my at least with this stuff. And I'll show you the inside. Regular square pattern, one half, the other half. This is both 1 inch on each side. Doesn't look great, but it doesn't look terrible either. Onward to the waterproofing process. The ingredients are pretty simple. It's just boiled linseed oil and mineral spirits, half and half. That's 50% of each, and I'm going to try to dye it a darker color. That's why I have these scraps here. Hopefully I can get the right color. I've got a caramel and then a black. I'm going to try to make a dark brown. I know they have a dark brown. They didn't have a dark brown at the place that I went. So we're just going to see what we can do. If it doesn't turn out perfect in the color, I'm not too worried about it. So I'm going to go ahead and start mixing this up. I'm going to use the full 2 gallons because I expect it to take that much. Now you got to mix this stuff up really, really well. So that's why I got the drill with the mixing bit. I guess I should have worn some shoes. Probably half. Just a little bit, maybe a quarter. Probably gonna be more black than anything. Yeah? A little darker, I think. I'm gonna add a whole thing of caramel and a bit more black. See what this does. Show the other side. See the difference. Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. Maybe a little bit blacker. Let's just add the whole thing. Screw it. There it is. That's the color I'm looking for right there. Let's see how much darker it is. Alright, now let's put this thing in here. Looks like there's going to be splotches of color all over it. Don't really care that much about that. There it is. I got it tied off because I don't have anywhere to hang it that it could sit up straight. pulling pretty hard on that corner tie out there. It's probably going to stretch the fabric some, but I'm going to flip it probably tomorrow. Definitely blotchy. I mean, it looks cool. Kind of a cool look. Now to let it dry and test it out. Okay, so we are at Sam Houston National Forest right now, and this is hopefully going to be my test for the tarp. Here's my setup. I don't have any heavier cordage to use to pull this up. Just got a toggle with some hemp, keeping it to the tree. We're pegged off on each 3 corners. Simple plow point. Supposed to get a decent amount of rain tomorrow and tonight. It's Saturday night. Here's my setup in here. Frost River pack. I just got a 80-20 military wool blanket covering over some pine boughs. And my Yuko light, or UCO, I'm not sure how to pronounce it to be honest. But we're gonna find out. I'm going to keep the camera with me tonight, so if it does rain, I'll be able to at least film it and give you a report. So we'll see what happens. It's a little wet. It's definitely heavier. The underside didn't really, it's damp, but I wouldn't call it soaked. I think it's a success. Pretty sure it's a success actually. It performed well, kept me dry. Definitely a lot heavier than what it was. Rained a decent amount last night too. Nothing really heavy, just kind of consistent. Next chance I get, I'm going to take it out and give it another shot. But as of right now, it's a success, so pretty happy. I'm Jesse with Texas Bushcraft. Thanks for watching.